Clearly, someone's been making a ton of money off the Asian version of me for 24 years.
Ever wondered what really goes on behind the glitz and glamour of late-night TV? Today, we're peeling back the curtain to reveal the untold stories of the industry. From the rise of a comedy legend to the fierce battles for the host's chair, we're diving into a world where laughs are serious business. Before Conan O'Brien stepped into the spotlight, late-night TV was a different ballgame. It was a world where Johnny Carson was king. For decades, Carson's The Tonight Show set the standard. He wasn't just a host, he was a nightly friend to millions, a master of comedy who could make or break careers with a single joke. When he announced his retirement, it sent shockwaves through the television world. Who could possibly fill his shoes? Enter Jay Leno and David Letterman, two heavyweights in the comedy scene. The battle for Carson's throne was not just a professional rivalry, it was a dramatic saga that captivated audiences. Leno, known for his everyman appeal and sharp monologues, took over The Tonight Show, while Letterman, with his quirky humor and offbeat antics, started his new gig at CBS. This split the late-night audience, setting the stage for a new era. It was a time of change, a moment in TV history where the old guard was giving way to new faces. But no one expected what was coming next. Before he became a household name, Conan O'Brien was a behind-the-scenes guy. He was the pen behind the laughs, writing for shows like The Simpsons and Saturday Night Live. He wasn't the guy you'd expect to see in front of the camera. That's what made NBC's decision so jaw-dropping. They picked Conan, a writer with hardly any on-screen experience, to take over late night. It was a gamble that left many scratching their heads. Why Conan? He wasn't a stand-up comedian known to the masses. He didn't have the on-camera charisma that people were used to. The industry and sitters were skeptical. Could this writer, known more for his scripts than his stage presence, handle the pressure of late-night TV? The audience, too, was curious. They were used to familiar faces, and here was this tall, quirky guy with a mop of red hair, about to sit in one of the most coveted chairs in television. The initial reactions were mixed. Some were excited to see a fresh face, while others doubted his ability to fill the void left by the legends. Conan's entry into late night was not just a career shift, it was a bold move by NBC, a leap into the unknown. When Conan O'Brien first stepped onto the late night stage, it wasn't all smooth sailing. He was a new guy, fresh-faced and eager, stepping into a role previously filled by legends. The pressure? Immense. The expectations? Sky high. And the reviews? Well, they were less than kind. Critics didn't hold back. They called him nervous, awkward, a misfit for the late-night charm. It was tough. Viewers were used to a certain style, a familiar comfort in their late-night hosts, and Conan was anything but familiar. He was different, with a humor that didn't immediately click with everyone. Some nights, the laughter was scarce, the audience unsure. It was a rocky start, with ratings reflecting the audience's hesitation. This was a trial by fire, a test of resilience. Conan was filling some of the biggest shoes in television, and every misstep was magnified. But here's the thing about Conan. He didn't give up. He kept at it, night after night, jokey after jokey. As time went on, something started to change. Conan began to find his groovy. His humor, once seen as offbeat, started to resonate. He wasn't trying to be the next Carson or Leno. He was carving out his own niche. His monologues got sharper, his interviews more relaxed. There was a sense of comfort setting in, both for Conan and the audience. Key episodes started to stand out. Remember that one with the famous actor or the hilarious sketch that went viral? Those moments began to add up, turning the tide in Conan's favor. And let's not forget the celebrity guests. They played a huge role. Big names started dropping by, not just for a quick chat, but for the fun of being on Conan's show. They were enjoying themselves, and so were the viewers. Conan's comedy segments, too, became a hit. They were different, something you wouldn't see on other shows. These bits weren't just funny. They were Conan's brand of funny, unique, a bit quirky, and always unexpected. This was the turning point. Conan was no longer just the new guy on late-night TV. He was becoming a name, a host that people stayed up late for. The guy who once faced an uphill battle was now riding a wave of popularity, and he was doing it his way. Conan O'Brien didn't just join the late-night club. He stirred it up. He brought a flavor of comedy that was all his own. Think of it like this. If late-night shows were a bunch of similar restaurants, Conan opened up a quirky food truck right next to them. He wasn't afraid to be different. His skits and segments, they were out there in the best way. Remote shoots, wacky characters, and comedy bits that sometimes felt more like a fun, wild ride than a typical talk show segment. This fresh approach wasn't just for laughs. It shook up the whole late-night recipe. Other shows started to take notice. You could see bits and pieces of Conan's style popping up elsewhere. It was like he gave everyone a green light to try something new, to be bold. Conan's impact was clear. He didn't just fit into the late-night world, he expanded it. Now, let's talk about legacy. Conan O'Brien left more than just a trail of laughs. He left footprints for others to follow. He showed that it's okay to be different, to take risks. His tenure in late-night TV wasn't just about ratings or interviews, it was about inspiring others. New comedians, hosts, writers, many of them looked up to Conan. They saw in him a kind of courage, a creative spirit that said, go ahead, try it your way. In the grand timeline of late-night TV, Conan's name is etched in bold. He's up there with the greats, but with a twist that's uniquely Conan. He's the guy who came in as an underdog and left as a trailblazer. His legacy? It's about laughter, sure, but it's also about daring to be different, about changing the game not just by playing well, but by playing like no one else. That's Conan O'Brien for you, a true original in the world of late-night television. Conan O'Brien did more than just host a show. He left his mark on culture itself. He wasn't just a TV guy, he became a part of our everyday world. You'd see his influence in comedy clubs, in the way people told jokes, even in the way other shows were made. He had this knack for tapping into what was cool, what was funny, what was real, and it wasn't just about the laughs. Conan connected with people. He showed up in podcasts, web series, even traveled the world, bringing his unique brand of humor to different cultures. He made comedy more than just a show. He made it a way to see the world, to understand it a little better. Looking back at Conan's career, it's like watching someone grow up in the most fantastic way. He started as this unsure, quirky guy and turned into a comedy powerhouse, all while staying true to himself. He taught us that it's okay to be different, to take risks, to laugh even when the going gets tough. And what about the future of late-night TV? Well, Conan set the bar high. He showed that late night could be more than just a chat and a laugh. It could be adventurous, bold, and deeply personal. His journey is a lesson in not just surviving, but thriving in a world that's always changing. Conan's story is about finding your voice, sticking to it, and making the world laugh along the way. That is all from me today. What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for sticking till the end. Subscribe for more.